Luffy vs Esdeath is one of the many battles that my fellow weaves can't seem to agree on, with some saying our frosty dominatrix freezes the humanoid condom to death, and some saying the humanoid condom squashes her with his Toon Force-powered rubber fist. The contention surrounding this match was so high, it piqued my interest, so I am here to tell you how I feel about them matching up to each other. Esdeath being the Empire's strongest means she most likely scales above a vast majority of characters in the verse, including the likes of Tatsumi when he was fusing with the Incrucio, who managed to stop attacks from the Supreme Tigu that was sending out multiple blasts and was decimating multiple buildings and causing massive explosions in the distance. Tatsumi was also physically strong enough to knock back the Supreme Tigu multiple times, which is probably the size of a small mountain based off of visuals. And she was going toe-to-toe with that version of Tatsumi, and she was winning as well. When the Supreme Tigu took advantage of the upgrades added to it and evolved into its purge mode, it started sending out blasts that was larger than mountains. I doubt that Esdeath and Tatsumi scale exactly to this because Tatsumi was terrified of taking a direct hit from power like that. And later, a stronger version of Tatsumi needed a weak spot that was left behind from him and Wave attacking it. However, I do think that she scales to the miniature blast the Supreme Tigu was making for sure, although I don't think she can span them like the Emperor was. And within time like the Supreme Tigu, she can probably destroy the entire Empire considering how destructive her power is. And the Empire is around 200,000 square kilometers in size. To put that in perspective, our real-life Great Britain is around 209,331 square kilometers. Of course, I said this would take her time, and nothing suggests that she or the Supreme Tigu can do this in a single move. It's also good to mention that the Empire looks a lot smaller in raw visuals. She can also do a lot of ice shenanigans with her Tiku Makahadama, which could literally freeze time. A lot of people would probably say she should scale to her feat performed after she absorbed her Ice Cavalry, which is probably around Continental, but that feat took days of preparation because she used her Ice Cavalry to store power over time, and then absorbed them all at once and before releasing the power at the same time. We know outside of preparation she was weaker than the Supreme Tigu, who was literally a monster inverse due to throwing out massive blasts that could decimate mountains. And while she should be comparable with her best attack most likely, it would just prove that she's not that strong normally to wipe out entire continents. And that destruction feat was actually the best one done without any preparation in the entire verse. So for Esdeath to be massively more powerful and a tier up from it would not make any sense at all. Luffy on the other hand has quite a bit more to go off of, considering the manga for One Piece at the time of recording this video is at chapter 1135. One of the most notable feats is when he made a fist the size of a small island and threw it down at insane speeds towards Kaido. And some characters were actually confident he was going to punch through the entire island when they saw this. Luffy can also enhance his durability with armament hockey and has a rubber body, so I'd give him both the raw power and durability to Luffy. Speed for these two is interesting, as Esdeath should be faster than the version of Tatsumi who outright blitzed away from Budo's lightning to behind him. And before that, he even reacted to one of his lightning attacks when it was point blank in front of mine. Not just that, but Esdeath and Akame jumped away from one of these lightning attacks as well. So you can use this to argue Esdeath and Tatsumi around faster than lightning speeds. Arguably sub-relativistic. Luffy on the other hand has lightning speed feats of his own where he was either upscaling from Enel or grabbing lightning right out of the sky like it was nothing. But obviously that is not his limit, as in the current manga he was reacting to light speed attacks from Kizaru. The same Kizaru can move at light speed as well. Light speed is over 2,000 times faster than lightning, which drastically outdoes the characters mentioned before. Not just that, but there's arguments he reached this level beforehand, though most of them are not very good. If we take his giant fist and assume he launched it at light speed, then you can get it around multi-continental via kinetic energy. So with that, it won't matter if you use the preparation feat. I actually had ChatGPT do this, so maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was pretty interesting how I can make this AI do all these calculations for me. Just saying. I don't think the fight would drag on long enough for Esdeath to consider things like freezing time, seeing how she's a warmonger and would just charge in to get one shot by Luffy, but it's something that should be addressed at least. One of the main issues with her is getting speed blitz, believe it or not. And it's actually how she died in anime when Akame left an after image in her time stop. Luffy is a lot faster than Akame, so that can actually happen here as well. Then again, I seriously doubt she'd be able to kill Luffy in one hit even then. And once her time stop is over, she can't use it again and will most likely die. So the Empire's strongest fails to defeat the future king of pirates. Not that it surprised me. Esdeath may be the ice mommy of your dreams, but her fangirls seem to overrate the shit out of her. There they took death battles seriously when she beat Gray, who's stronger than both her and Luffy. If you want to use the wank that she's continental to planet level, I could just wank Luffy to star level. Or scale him to Whitebeard. Not that it's really necessary, but just saying. Anyways, like and subscribe to my channel, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. And share this video to who you can. And just maybe I'll do the future King of Pirates against the Dragon Sin of Wrath.